All right, Shalom, 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 Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawah, by Hashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the house of David. I also want to give a mighty peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to you 12 tribe brethren and sisters, right, who's been keeping the law, statute, commandments in these last days, trying to be a righteous example. Shalom, shalom, right? And this is going to be a quick lesson on, you got to stop adding to the words of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, right? It's not going to be long. It's going to be simple, straight to the point. You got to stop adding to the law of Yahawah by Shem Yahushua, right? Let's get the precept, right? It's actually a sin. It's actually a sin to say something is a sin when it's not, man, all right? So this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Ye shall not add into the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish out from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, which I command you, right? So you cannot add to the law, right? And you also can't take away from the law, right? Right? Saying something, you like, for example, right? You saying something is a sin when it's not, and you saying something that's not a sin when it is, right? So you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful with your words. Every other word will be held against you in these last days, as Matthew 12 and 36 say, right? Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse number 32. Whatsoever, it says, Salaki, what things soever I command you, observe to do it. He ain't say add to it. He ain't say take away from it. He ain't say put your feelings in it. He said, what things soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it, right? So you can't add to the law, statute, and commandments. And you cannot take away from the law, statute, and commandments, right? You got to be careful on how you move and how you do, man. That's why you got to study the law, right? Study the scriptures, right? Study the gospel, right? You can't add to the law. And every word of the Most High is pure, right? Let's get to Proverbs chapter 30. Right, verse 5. It say, every word of Yahawah is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not into his words, lest he reprove thee. Thou should be found a liar, right? So let God be true and every man a liar, right? His scriptures, his word, hey, they are true, right? And if you're not going according to his word, right, you're going to get found a liar, right? So that's something you got to understand, man. Right? Scripture said, to the law and to the testimony that speak not according to this word. Right? Bear with me. Let me get that. Bear with me. All right. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, and verse number 20. And it reads, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to his word, it is because there is no light in them, right? What is the light? The light is the law, statute, commandments. As you can read in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 23, that's that light. And the light is also Yahawah as well, right? Doing what Yahawah say, following after Yahawah. That is also the light. So if you're not doing these things, man, there is no light in you, right? You're in a dark place. That's why I say in Psalms 82, hey, the foundation is off his curse, right? Because everybody is walking in darkness. Everything out of order. Everything that's not going according to what Yahweh Shem Yahushua commanded, right? So you have to go according to the law, statute, and commandments. You have to go according to his word, man. All right, let's get Revelations, all right, chapter 22, verse 18. For I testify, all right, let me highlight it. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man should add into these things, Yahawah shall add into him the plagues that are written in this book. Right? And what's the number one thing that our people do that take away from the prophecies? They say Esau, not the so-called white man. Right? That's prophecy, man. That's end time prophecy. So you saying Esau, not the so-called white man, you're changing prophecy. You're changing end time prophecy. right? So you got to be careful, man. They say, if any man should take away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, Yahawah shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book, right? Got a lot of OT onlys, right? They take away from the so-called New Testament, right? Say the New Testament is fake, right? Hey, you're gonna get a harsh judgment for that. You're gonna be written out of the book of life, man, right? Especially not for not believing in Yahawah. Right, so you're playing a dangerous game. Right, let's get the closing precept. All right, this is Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. They said, "Whoso therefore shall break one of these commandments and shall teach man to do so, and shall teach man so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." Right? When you teaching man to breaking the commandments, you are taking away from the law. Right? You are taking away from the words Yahweh Yahawah. Right? What he command us and how we be righteous on the earth. Right? And if you are teaching these things, man, and you are keeping the commandment. Deuteronomy 4:2 is a commandment. Right? So you are being a righteous example when you do these things. Right? Whatever Yahawah said, hey, that's what it is, man. Right? Not going in and twisting it and making your own, trying to get an agenda, trying to make a doctrine. Hey, the law, statute, and commandments is a doctrine, man. Let's get that. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 2. It say, "For I give you good doctrine." Right? What is good according to the Bible? Good is according to the Bible is the law, statute, and commandments. Right? Romans chapter 7, verse 14. So that's the good. Right? "Forsake ye not my law." Right? So the doctrine is the law, man. It's the law, statute, and commandments. Right? The whole book represents Yahawah. Right? But the doctrine is the law, statute, and commandments. Right? So long as we keep the law, statute, and commandments and the faith in Yahawah, that's all that matters, man. At the end of the day. Right? And of course, making sure that you online with prophecy. Right? You can't take away prophecy at all. Right? So I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bashem, Yahawah, Bashem, Rekakadash. All right. Shalom, Israel.